This has been such a wonderful interview, and you're lovely as well. And I will be over to South Africa as soon as possible.
This is Good Hope FM. This is Good Hope FM. We play the best music.
Becky Hill, welcome to Good Hope FM. I am super excited to have you with me today because in the past few years, you've had not one but multiple tracks on the Hit 30 and you've become a firm favorite in Cape Town, especially in South Africa. And also in 2020 and 2019, you were crowned the most streamed British artist, the second one in UK on Spotify. I'm super proud of you. I'm super excited to have you here. How are you doing?
I am so excited. I mean, that's such a big intro. Thank you so much for having me and speaking to me. It's an absolute pleasure to be speaking to so many South African people, and how lovely it is that my music's so well received over there.
Yeah, and it's been quite a few year and a half as well, because I think, for most of us, the pandemic has kind of been an opportunity for us to reevaluate our mental and our physical well-being. And especially for creatives, I know myself, it's been an opportunity for me and for other artists to also sit back and really focus on their craft. And that's exactly what you did, because you have literally just released your debut album called Only Honest on the weekend. Tell us more about what it was like for you to finally finish this musical masterpiece, as I like to call it.
Thank you so much. It really felt like a big release. I feel like my whole career has been building up to this moment, and I've worked so hard to get here and to, convince a record label to put out an album, to really have to prove myself with having top 10 hits, and now it feels like I've done what I set out to do when I was 18 years old, and I'm 27 now, so it's taken me a long time, but I couldn't feel more proud of what I've managed to achieve, and this is the first of many for me, hope.
I think for me specifically, when I listened to the album, the immediate feeling that resonated with me was pure happiness. And I think that's very rare for me, because I am someone who loves your typical pop mellow music. But when I listened to this, there was elements of dance. And the one song that really stood out to me was Perfect People. I am in love with that song because it was one of two ballads on the album, which was totally different to what you normally do. So I have a question. Would you in future do more ballads, or have you found your niche market in that pop dance rave scene?
I've always loved rave music, and I think the sweet spot is being able to do sad dance music. But I don't know whether people trust me enough yet to do ballads, which is why there are only a couple on the album. I personally love doing more slow down, personal lyrics and stuff. But I think right now people need those up-tempo rave songs to get them through this really weird time.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. But I think what is so rare about you is the fact that if you take away the production of all of your songs and just have your vocals, they are absolutely phenomenal. Your songwriting ability is so good because every song has a message behind it. And we speak about songwriting, and I think as an artist, it's so important to be able to curate your own music, to create your own sound. And I know also as a songwriter, everyone has little bit of tricks and they've got little rituals they do when they're writing a song. Do you have anything like that? Or is it just a kind of a free flow, see what happens and make a song from there?
Well, I think you're totally right. Like, I think the songwriting process is like the most important for me. I love writing music. I have done since I was, a kid. When I used to write music in my bedroom. My one thing that I love doing is writing music as if you're talking to a friend. Yeah. And I think, I'm not the most metaphorical writer, but I'm a very literal writer. And I have a note on my phone. I have a specific note on my phone where I write down all of the things that pop into my head where I would say that to a friend, or when I'm mid-conversation and I'm saying something to my friend and I'm like, that sounds good, I can make that into a song. Yeah. So I definitely draw on, real life inspiration and yeah, making people feel like they could be saying that to one of their friends.
I mean, anyone can say to someone, I'm better off without you, to be honest. So I 100% agree with you. It's something that's so relatable for people who are 13-year-old or people who are 35-year-old. And everything is catchy because it's something you would literally, as you said, you would say to somebody. So I commend you on that, and for also being vulnerable, because like I said to you, take away all the production, it's a story. Everything you do is a story.
I try to make it like diary entries. I think, I love making personal music and I love writing music for myself. I love being able to look back at songs that I've written and know exactly where I've written them and how I wrote them and what I was going through and what I felt at the time through writing it. I think that is that's my favourite part, and the fact that no 2 days are ever the same. You never come out with the same song. So that's also really exciting too.
I love that. And right now you're on your 4th single from the album called My Heart Goes La-Di-Da, which is awesome. But it's a topic which I interviewed a few months ago, and he was such a cool guy, very relaxed. He kind of knows what he wants. He knows his sound, and it's quite an interesting collaboration because I think you also have your sound. If you listen to radio, you know this is Becky Hill. What was it like to work with Topic on this song, and why the song as a release instead of, for example, Through the Night? What was the reason for this song?
We thought Topic was perfect for this song, and My Heart Goes had to be the follow-up to Remember. Remember was such a massive tune, and it went to number 3 in the charts over here, and we needed to follow it up with something that was an instant hit. And I think My Heart Goes was the perfect one because before it was released, I was teaching it to audiences that I would, at festivals that I'd be playing, and people would pick it up straight away. So I knew when I started playing it to audiences that people would get this song instantly. They didn't have to listen to it too much. Whereas Through the Night could be the next one after that, but we wanted to give people the album before giving them Through the Night. So that could potentially be next. We don't know yet.
Wonderful. I'm so excited for you because I love the song. It's been charting on the Good Hope FM Hit 30.
Thank you.
I remember when Remember came out and the album came out, I create these little montages. They call it super producers picks for the week. And I always create these little montages, and we did a review on your album. The reaction from our listeners was phenomenal because all of the songs in there were upbeat. Also, mind you, it is spring. We're also heading into summer. Perfect combination. So I'm super happy to have them on the chart at the moment as well. And you also mentioned festivals. Now in South Africa, we're still in lockdown, but I see you are literally performing left, right, and center. You are on the move as we speak at the moment. What was it like, or what is it like rather, performing in a crowd post-COVID? And how are things different from when you performed back in 2019?
It's not different. It's not different at all, which is my favorite thing about it. The only thing that's different is the level of gratitude that I have and the level of awe that I'm in every time I step out on stage. For the first month, because our festival season has been super short this year.
Yes.
Usually it lasts about 3 or 4 months, but we've only had about, a month and a half, two months really. But I've felt so lucky every time I've stepped out onto that stage. And for the first month, I couldn't stop crying every time I walked out on stage. Yeah. I felt so lucky that I never thought that I would get that back. And I never thought that, the government really kind of treated us quite badly, the music and events industries. We were the last to get back up on our feet. We had barely any support. We were given loans to pay back, and and we were told to retrain. So it's so lovely to be able to start paying my team again that helped me put on these incredible shows. It's so amazing to see festivals getting back up on their feet after not being able to for so long. And it's so lovely to see people unrestricted, unmasked, no social distance, doing what they love best again, which is being at a festival, listening to music and having a great time.
And I also think it's the perfect songs as well to get you going and enjoying life again after such a unexpected and unpredictable year and a half. So I'm happy for you that you are back and enjoying yourself as well, because I'm very envious, and it gives us hope back in South Africa that yes, we can get back to that. There is hope at the end of the tunnel. So that's awesome to see that you guys are back regardless of what happened. It's very exciting.
Yeah, you guys are definitely next. Just stay faithful. And I'm sure that when it all gets back up on its feet, you guys are going to have the best time ever.
I can't wait. I'm super excited. But I just want to talk about you as an artist. I think sometimes we forget that you actually started almost a decade ago. If you look back to The Voice UK in season 1, you know that was a long time ago. And I think you've evolved so much as a person and as an artist. If you look at where you are now versus where you were there, what was the one fear that you had to overcome and that you're most proud of?
Probably faith that it was all going to work out, and faith in myself and faith in the process, and trusting that it was going to happen at some point. Patience isn't one of my best attributes, and a lot of the time I was very impatient, I think the word is, and it was really difficult. Like, there were times when I wanted to give up. There's still times that I want to give up, but I know that it's all worth it because I love what I do so intensely. I wouldn't be able to do anything else, and I would be really upset if I had to do something else as well. Like, I love my job, and that's what's kept me going all of these years, and I was just waiting for some success. And it's so lovely that now I'm actually finally getting some success, because that was one of the fears, was that I was going to fail.
Yeah, well, you've done it, and I think there's so much more to come from you. I do think that you've got so many different routes that you can go to with the connections that you've made, and your talent itself speaks volumes. So I'm excited to see what comes next from you. But now I just want to go into the fun part of this interview. We go away from the music, we go into a bit of your personal life. Your album's called Only Honest on the Weekend. So since it is the weekend, I want to ask you some honest questions, and you can say the first thing that comes to mind. The first question is, when you think of South Africa, what is the first thing that you think of?
Lions.
We do have lions. They don't roam the streets, but they are definitely there. And the next question is, who was the last person you texted, and what did it say?
Was it you? The last person I texted, let me have a look. Oh, it was my makeup artist, and as she was doing my makeup, and I was telling her about this TV series called Utopia. That's not the Utopia that's on Amazon Prime, but the Utopia about a genetically engineered virus.
Oh, wow.
Which is incredible. It's got a yellow cover with a guy holding a yellow bag, if anybody wants to watch it. It's incredible.
I'll definitely check out, because I love stuff like that. And then we go on to, if it was a karaoke night, which song would you sing?
Anastasia, Left Outside Alone.
That's one of my favorite songs. I grew up singing that with my cousins. Microphones were our literally deodorant bottles. One of the best songs ever. And then, what is your favorite childhood memory?
Going to Center Parcs as a kid. Center Parcs is like this like holiday resort in the forest.
Ooh.
And they have like this big swimming pool where they have like slides and rapids, and you go down. And I went with all of my brothers and sisters. I'm one of 5, so it was like me and 4 other kids, and then we all ride bikes back to the chalet. I used to love family holidays away with my brothers and sisters.
we've got lots of places like that in South Africa. So if you, a whole family wants to come through and enjoy that, you can definitely reminisce as well. Because
I would love to. I need to see some lions.
We've got lots of animals here. I'm super excited for you. And the last question I'm going to ask is, what is the most spontaneous thing that you've ever done in your life?
I went on The Voice.
Yeah, that
was the most spontaneous thing I've ever done.
Yeah, I love that. So I've heard everything from you. I'm excited. I really hope you come to South Africa. We've got tons of festivals that you will fit into perfectly to the T. Thank you for being with us. All the best for the future. And hopefully we'll see you here very, very, very soon.
Thank you so much for your time. This has been such a wonderful interview, and you're lovely as well. And I will be over to South Africa as soon as possible.
Yay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is Good Hope FM.